Good, beautiful morning, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And today I have a collective with me called the Divine Collective, and they want to share their insight and understanding on the concept, lose yourself, find yourself. Now, I do know that in Christian mythology, this concept of you've got to lose yourself to find yourself, as well as many mystical schools, the same concept about losing yourself and finding yourself comes up quite frequently. And what they've been telling me this morning is it's really important that you actually understand that the self that you want to lose, you don't really want to lose it. You just don't want to be subjective to it anymore. So the idea of losing the self is learning to differentiate between your personality, the content of your mind, and who and what you are as a spiritual entity, as a soul. And we're going to get into that in just a moment. Good morning. Hello, Drusilla. How are you doing today? Hope things are well. Yes, if your mind is mostly silent, then you've lost the old self. Yes, for sure. So they said it's important once you start the process of differentiating yourself from your mind, by mind meaning your database, your memory, the thing that's been constructed by the environment that's taught you to think, feel, and believe that you are the person that they say you are. You're John or Mary or Michael or Bob or Peter or whomever you've been taught to believe you're supposed to be. That there's the personality construct, which is what you've been given to believe you are. And then there's who you are as a sentient, spiritual being, a soul, able to observe your thoughts, observe your memories, observe your emotions, and not be subjective to them. You know, there's a concept in conventional psychology and psychotherapy called emotional self-regulation. And they talk about how people can emotionally regulate their behavior. And I find that a very interesting concept. So if you are able to self-regulate your emotional behavior, the emotion is what is being regulated, but who is doing the regulating? If your emotions and your thoughts are intimately connected and you're able to change your thoughts and you're able to monitor or regulate your emotions, then who is this you that is doing the regulating? And they say that the part of you that is regulating that which has been regulated by the world is the soul. It's the self that you will discover when you surrender your subjectivity to the constructed personality. So the you that can regulate your thoughts and regulate your emotions and moderate your behavior, because you can do that. You do that all the time. The self that you want to lose is that self, the self that's being regulated, and identify with the self that is not the personality construct. That's what they've said. Now, how do you go about doing that? And they said the first thing you need to learn to start doing is how to simply begin to observe your thoughts. That is first and foremost. How do you begin to regulate your thoughts? And if you're regulating your thoughts, the you that's regulating the thoughts is the authentic and real you. The thoughts is just the personality construct, as are your memories, as are your emotions, as are your past lives. They're old identities that you've left behind. Now, it's really helpful if you're not doing this journey alone, and you're not. Understand that you have guides, you have angels, you have ascended masters that will and can work with you when you learn how to hear them, sense them, feel them, and interact with them. These are beings that have transcended the personality construct and have learned how to function consciously and creatively as an extension of divine consciousness, or an extension of God, if you want, is another way to put it. So losing the old self, the moment you begin to observe your thoughts, you're letting go of your identification with the personality construct, and now you're observing it. You're stepping out of it. It's like taking an escalator up to another floor and looking down, where you can observe your thoughts, you can observe your memories, you can observe your emotions. The self that is the observer is what they call the real self. the one that is often left unexplored, because most of us will tend to identify with the personality construct and believe I'm John, or I'm Mary, or I'm Bob, or I'm Peter, or I'm Beth. And we get into believing we're the constructed personality, and we forget the part of us that is not that is actually able to alter and change the function of the personality. The vast majority of people, unfortunately, have gotten caught up in the personality to such a degree that they depend upon the environment to alter and change them. And I think this was touched on by the Ascended on Monday, where they say the vast majority of people depend upon the external world to regulate their behaviors, their thoughts, their memories, their emotions. And so the self that you are is lost in the personality, dependent upon the external world. What the Divine Collective are talking about today is that you have the capacity to go away from the influences of the external world and become the influence over your personality, to restructure it, rebuild it, and remake it in the image and likeness of what you truly are. So that's one step, being able to observe your thoughts, your memories, and emotions, and distinguishing yourself from them. The second thing they said to do, to begin to know the self. I like this. To know thyself, that self that is not the personality construct, that's not the body, that's not the mind, that's not the emotions, is to begin a process which is conventionally known as meditation. Another term for it can be considered contemplation, where you are no longer subjective or entranced or caught up in the clothing of memory, thought, and emotion, and you begin to evaluate and consider, who are you if you are not your thoughts? Who are you? If you put all your thoughts aside, you put all your memories, all your emotions aside, then who are you? This question will lead you to a consideration and an experience that you cannot get when you're identified as the body, or as the mind, or as emotions, thoughts, and memories. So this process that you can call meditation or contemplation, where you're not evaluating what you already know, but you're evaluating yourself as the awareness that can observe what it thinks it knows. So when you pause your thoughts, and you pause your memories, and you pause your emotions, and you put them on pause, who are you? You need to consider this and evaluate this to begin the process of knowing thyself. Thyself that is the divine entity that has come down into this physical dimension for the process of demonstrating the act of creation. That is why you are here, to learn and practice the function and act of creation. Your mind and body can be utilized by you in such a fashion that you can learn to articulate creation as an act of your own free will, rather than an act of the environment that has impinged upon you ideas and beliefs from around you. So you've been given ideas and beliefs that can inhibit you or prevent you from fully articulating who you really are as a creative individual. Many of the things that you've been taught to think and feel and believe contradict who you are. They place limits, ideas, emotions, and concepts in the way of your fully recognizing that you are a sentient divine being, capable of creating on such a profound and vast scale that very few have ever ventured to really articulate that. Some of the individuals you might know of are some of your archangels, like Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, Ascended Master Jesus, Ascended Master Buddha, Ascended Master Yogananda, Ascended Master Babaji. There are many Ascended Masters, Ascended Master Joan of Arc, many Ascended Masters that got to know thyself, to know that they are one with this infinite creating potential. If you want to begin to rediscover the true meaning of peace and happiness and fulfillment, then you need to know thyself. You need to learn to be able to differentiate yourself from the mind and from the body, and begin to remember what you are as a spiritual consciousness. that you have this wonderful capacity for creation that has barely been articulated because the limits of the personality inhibit such things. Because as you believe, so you organize the substance of energy that is responsible for generating what you call your experiences. And this process of contemplation and meditation, if you begin that now, you can simply begin by watching your thoughts. Because when you begin to watch your thoughts, you disassociate from the content of the personality that has been fabricated for you by the environment, and you begin to step out of it. That is the first step, the observational position, to begin to observe your thoughts, to begin to observe your memories, to begin to observe your emotions, to begin to observe the sensations of the body. This position of observation allows an experience of differentiation from matter into spirit, soul versus personality and matter. That is the first step, to begin to observe. The second step is to begin the process of quieting your mind, bringing your mind to stillness, asserting your authority over the mind, over the emotions, over the actions of the body. What your conventional psychology and psychotherapy call emotional self-regulation can only occur when you're in that perspective of observational awareness. Otherwise, you remain subjective to the content of the structured personality that has been fabricated for you by the environment, or you will try to find something in the environment to fabricate a new construct for you if you do not like the one you're currently stuck in. However, once you begin to move into this observational position, you can then begin to consider what thoughts, what ideas, what emotions do I want to embody into my material medium of expression, which is your body and your mind. You can begin to consider what it is you as a sentient being are capable of doing if you can clear your mind and no longer be subjective to what has been given to you to accept as the truth. Again, the observational position is crucial to beginning to know thyself, the self that you truly are, the spiritual entity. Many of you find yourself frustrated, even enslaved somewhat to the confines of the information and experiences you've already had, feeling that what you feel and what you think are unchangeable and immutable, and that you're just simply stuck with them. Let us remind you that is absolutely not true. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not that body. And most of what are your thoughts were given to you. Most of your thoughts are not even of your own choosing. And once you begin to sort the wheat from the chaff, in other words, the thoughts that you would like to have versus the thoughts the world has given you, you have an opportunity then to begin to restructure your personality into a more favorable function of service for you. Because if you have thoughts and emotions that do not make you feel good, you are simply dealing with thoughts and beliefs and ideas that you yourself did not select and choose, or you have selected and chosen ideas that are not beneficial for you. You've been taught to think and believe in a certain way that goes contrary to your true nature. This process of awakening becomes very important at this time, as there are many changes currently coming upon this planet right now. It's obvious to you see this great change, social unrest and discord. These are the symptoms of a restless soul, a restless human collective unconsciousness seeking to find liberation from unnecessary suffering and forms of creation that are detrimental to your physical, mental, emotional, and indeed your spiritual well-being as individuals, but as a species, more importantly, that your entire species is going through a revolutionary awakening that some of you may not be able to get engaged in it if you do not understand the steps you need to ascend from being subjective to your personality. It's a very exciting time for some of you to be alive, and very disconcerting for others who do not know how to distinguish themselves from their thoughts. To not question the source and nature of your thoughts can pose its own problems, but as the observational awareness, you can evaluate, alter, and change thoughts, memories, and emotions as an act of your freed will. And when we say freed will, we mean that aspect of you that is not subjective to the contents of your mind, your body, and your social conditioning. That aspect of yourself that is the awareness that can say, oh, these thoughts came from my school teacher. These thoughts came from that movie I watched. These thoughts came from my friend. These thoughts came from my mother, my father. These are not thoughts I want to have in my mind. And then the process of sorting out the wheat from the chaff, thoughts that you know will be beneficial and good for you versus thoughts, beliefs, and ideas that you know will be detrimental towards yourself and perhaps even other individuals. But this process of you becoming aware and differentiated from your mind and your body is a necessary step to lose the self, to find yourself. You must lose your attachment to the personality construct and go into a process of contemplating your true nature, which is different than what you've been taught to think, feel, and believe. If any one of you at the moment of your birth had been taken from your parents and put with somebody else and they gave you a different name, you would believe that you are somebody else right now. Consider that thought. The moment of your conception, when your parents looked adoringly upon you and said, "This is Jonathan." And suddenly someone comes in and takes Jonathan and puts Jonathan with somebody else. And they say, "Oh, we don't like Jonathan. We're going to call him Mark." And now Jonathan is no longer Jonathan and becomes Mark. So most of who you think you are is a construct of your environment. And without awakening your capacity to move into observational awareness, you will remain subjective to the thoughts, the beliefs, and the ideas that the world has given to you. Now, we're not saying that all of your thoughts and beliefs and ideas the world has given you are wrong or bad. There are many that are very beautiful and wondrous. We would ask you to observationally correct those ideas, thoughts, and beliefs that the world has given you that do not serve you, that do not free you, that do not liberate you from unnecessary suffering, because many of the thoughts that you've been given will indeed precipitate unnecessary suffering. We see this a great deal when you watch what you call your entertainment system, your system of programming that offers thoughts, beliefs, and ideas to you on a continual, repetitive basis. Most of these thoughts and ideas are based on fear, war, conflict, doubt, confusion, uncertainty. And if you are not in an observational position, you cannot say, "Oh, that thought they're giving me is going to cause me to be afraid. That idea they're talking about is going to instill sadness." You must learn to move into observational awareness to refute or push back away from you thoughts, ideas, and beliefs that would not serve your awakening. You're remembering that you are an extension of divine love and consciousness. The truth is that you are, in reality, love. That is your true nature. Functioning creatively is a function of love. Wow. Thank you. Well, thank you for that super chat, A Classic. How can I get rid of my financial debt trap? Two things you need to do. They're telling me this right away. The first thing you need to do is you've got to realize I'm out of the trap. You have to restructure the thought and emotion you have around money. A lot of people have been trained over the last 150 years by financial institutions, banks, and other organizations that have created this thing that they call debt, the concept of debt. By the way, the concept of debt, I've been told by Archangel Michael, is an aberration. There's no such thing as debt in nature. It's always abundance in nature. But for you directly, you need to release and let go of the frustration and the fear and the uncertainty that you're carrying in your body. You need to release that energy from the body. And then you need to construct a thought form that will counter the current energy that you're dealing with. A thought for you that would be very beneficial is from I'm always being prospered at all points of time and space. Feel the vibration and the energy of that thought form. I'm always prospered at all points of time and space. Okay? Stay deeply in that thought. Connect to the emotion of that thought, because once you start to connect to the emotion of a thought, the emotion initiates the act of creation, as every human experience is a product of emotional energy set into movement. So this is what you need to do, is you need to begin, I am always prospered at all points of time and space, and get into the feeling of that. How does it feel being prospered at all points of time and space? And ignore the existing realities. Do the things you have to do, pay the bills that you can pay, but ultimately stay connected that in this energy, I'm always being prospered at all points of time and space, that you spend more time on that than you spend on fear and uncertainty around your finances, because your fear and uncertainty around your finances keeps you in fear and uncertainty, which in turn keeps you in the debt program that you're stuck in. Most people are in debt because they've been trained this thing they call credit. They call it credit, but it's actually debt. What they call credit is actually debt. Remember that. You're being told, oh, you can get credit from the bank and you can get credit here. What they're saying is what they call credit is actually debt. And what they call debt is actually credit. And they've reversed it around. But you want to get really deeply into that energy. I am always prospered at all points of time and space. And how does that feel? Believe it. Feel it. Feel the vibration of those words. I'm always prospered at all points of time and space. And I'm really grateful. I'm excited. I'm happy. That's what that thought form creates inside my body. And if you contemplate it, watch what you feel inside your body. Because once you start to create a new emotional energy, the creation in your world will begin to change. It will be your responsibility, of course, to stay very connected to it as frequently as you can. I'm always prospered at all points of time and space. And I'm being told to tell you, if you do this for 3 days, you're going to notice within the 3 days there will be a functional change. It's not just a thought, but the emotion that those thoughts evoke in you. So tell us, what emotion does these thoughts evoke in you? I'm always prospered at all points of time and space. What emotion comes into you when you bring that thought into your mind? I'm always prospered at all points of time and space. Stay with the thought, stay with the emotion as frequently as you can, even in the face of difficulty financially. Choose to go back to that thought and stay in its energy. And in 3 days, you'll notice a significant change occurring. But let us know what you feel from that thought right now, please. Let us know what happens when you hold that thought in your mind. Hi. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Any message for me? Hello, authentic, divine Tina. Hello, beautiful souls. Any message for me on how to reconnect to my spirit, love, after tragic death of son? Yes. One of the things, again, our Masterclass 101, we teach you how to connect with your loved ones, guides, angels, ascended masters, and even the divine within you, which is what you are. You actually are the divine. You're just caught up in an illusion of separation. But yes, there's a very simple process right now you could go into. Close your eyes, take a slow, deep breath, relax the body, and then take another long, slow, deep breath. And allow your thoughts to go. Allow your anger, your fear, your sadness, just put them all aside with your breath. Put them all aside. What we're getting you to do right now is clear a space so that you can perceive his energy around you. So take that slow, deep breaths. Keep letting the body relax. Surrender the thoughts, the sadness. Put all those emotions aside just for a little while. And as you do that, let yourself sense and feel the space around your body. And just keep breathing slowly and deeply, letting the body relax more, letting the mind quiet, letting the emotions go, and feeling the space around your body. And then I want you to think and speak your son's name. And as you do that, ask him to come into this space around your body in the way that he's able to at this time. And just sense and feel what changes in that space. What changes in that space is the way that your son's energy can interact with you at this time. Because remember, they can only connect, non-physical beings can only connect you on the level that you're able to receive them. But when you feel that space around your body, you can literally ask them to come into that space. And you'll feel, some people feel changes in temperature. Some people feel sensations or a breeze around their face. Some people will feel hot or cold. It differs. Some people get pictures in their mind of their face. It will be different for each person, but I can assure you that as you practice this, and we teach this in Masterclass 101 in great detail over 3 weeks, you'll learn how to efficiently and effectively connect your loved ones, your angels, your guides, your ascended masters, which everyone has. The physical dimension is but one of many. When a person's physical body ceases to live anymore, then the individual awareness, that soul, doesn't have a physical body, so they can't speak to you in physical words. They can't touch you with physical hands, but they can interact with you with energy. And that's what we're asking you to do. Let me know in the comments section what you felt come into the space when you asked your son, spoke and thought his name, and asked him to come into the space in the way that he's able to at this time. Let us know what you experienced. And then if you want to go another step, we'll take another step. I would also encourage you to go to my website, sign up for Masterclass 101 Awakening. And I promise your life will be changed. It's not just about learning to connect your loved ones, your guides, and your angels. It's also about learning to take control and authority over your mind, your emotions, and your body in a way that you've never been taught before. And in the simplest way, I channel ascended masters, guides, angels, and others that do that. Hello, Amanda. Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. May I have a message from my guides about the course I'm doing in September? There has been some doubts that came up from different areas. Thank you. The doubt is not yours. The doubt is not yours. Do not take on the doubt of others. You are moving towards a pathway of your destiny, and others can feel that. They can feel you shifting and changing into a new destiny. Do not take on their doubt. Do not take on their doubt. Follow the path. Follow the path. Even those that doubt you will benefit from what you will become in this process of learning. Those that are in doubt of you will gain great benefit from what you will learn in the process of learning that you're about to engage in. Wow, that's really cool. Thank you, Amanda. Hi. There's a comment was filtered. I like to find the filtered comments. Should I leave my second job that pays well but made me unhappy? I would suggest this to you, Nova, because this is what they're telling me. I'm going to suggest this to you because this is what they're telling me. If you could be happy in this job, would you stay in it? Well, the answer, of course, would be yes, of course you would. So we would suggest to you, when you go to work over the next 7 days, when you awaken in the morning, you think and speak to yourself and you imagine there is a new joy entering my workplace. Every day I'm there. A new joy is entering my workplace, and everyone there can feel it. Write that down. There is a new joy entering my workplace, and everyone there can feel it. Go deeply into the thought form and the energy that the thought form stimulates. As to an alternative position, I would recommend that you book a one-on-one session with me if you want to go into other avenues of approach. But that's what they're telling me to tell you in terms of that particular job you're in right now that pays well, but you're not happy in. That concept, there is a new joy entering in my workplace, and everyone can feel it. And you do that before you go to work and during the day at work, and be in the energy of that joy. If there were a new joy at your workplace, how would you walk? How would you feel? What would you say? What would you do? And do that for 7 days, and you'll notice people, events, and circumstances, thank you for that, at the job changing spontaneously, because you are a creator. When you invoke the energy of joy, you radiate it. And this is what we're asking you to do, to invoke an energy of joy into this job that pays well. Invoke the energy of joy in this place. I like that. Thank you. I'm looking for filtered comments. I love filtered comments. They're the ones that can bring us real excitement. Okay, just scrolling down to see what questions. Hello, welcome. Hi, thank you for coming. Hello, Jasmine. Good to see you. Hello, Nova. Thank you for coming by. Oh, got like 100 different comments I got to catch up on. Thank you for liking this. Remember to like, subscribe, share if you like the content you're hearing now. Seraphim Susan, what is the best methods to help me reverse my diabetes? 20 diabetes 2. I've tried low carb diet, vegetarian diet, intermittent fasting, medication, berberine, parasite cleanse, etc., with some results. Okay, so what I'm being told to tell you, Susan, is the emotion that's stuck. There's an emotion. Remember, when people feel emotions, their body takes that emotion on. There's an emotion in your pancreas that needs to be released. And I'm getting that there's an anger. There's an anger that's happened that's stored in your pancreas, and sadness that's stored in your pancreas. Go into your pancreas, because you can move. Remember, you can move your awareness anywhere you want. You can move your awareness into your left hand, your right hand. You can move your awareness into your head. You can move your awareness into your heart, your lungs, your kidney, your nerves, your organ, any organ. Move your awareness into your pancreas. Bring yourself to the place where the emotion is stored in the pancreas. So you'll learn all this in the masterclass 101 Awaken. You'll learn how to connect to and communicate with different parts of your body, in addition to learning how to connect to your guides and angels. So I recommend sign up for that class. Starts October the 10th. So you've got a few weeks to sign up, but I do so now rather than later because I can fill up pretty quickly. So you want to get into the pancreas, identify the emotions that are there. They're telling you that it's anger and sadness that you've got stored in the pancreas. And when there's an emotion held in the body for a long period of time, it causes effects. So people that are angry will have certain scowls on their face, or they'll have hands that become arthritic and painful. Different emotions affect different people's bodies in different ways, but every emotion will cause an effect in your body. Every emotion. And if an emotion is sustained over a long period of time, then that effect on the body will become more and more pronounced. So emotions, again, if they're not released from the body, they'll continue to be stored in that part of the body. But go into the body and go into the pancreas, identify the anger and the sadness there, and release it. Again, you can also book a one-on-one reading with me if you want to get deeply into what that anger is, what that sadness is, and actually experience releasing it from the pancreas, because that happens quite often. Spontaneous healings have happened in not only in my readings, but they also happen in our master classes. We've had many people go through spontaneous healings, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, right? Because healing is a function. Healing and disease are functions of emotion. Healing and disease are functions of emotion, because a lot of the things that you eat, a lot of things you drink, a lot of the ways you walk, the ways you talk, the habits you have are based in emotional qualities that you've either created for yourself or been imparted to you. Anyway, that's the simple answer, Susan. Oh, you're very welcome, Amanda. Hi, thank you. Thank you for becoming a fan. Remember, for those of you that are on TikTok that have sent me so many requests to support my channel, I thank you so much. I really do. This channel, they've told me, because you want me to come on and do these competitions and things, this is not this channel. This channel is an information channel for ascension. But I thank you, and I'm so grateful for whatever support you can offer the channel. Will help continue the messages, which we've been doing for almost 7 years now, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for 7 years now, just to share this wisdom, knowledge, information that they give me with you. So yeah, thank you so much for those offers of support. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you for the star. I appreciate that. Hi. Oh, I'm glad you understand. Thank you. Please ask my angel guide if my new business will succeed. Delissa, you need to release the uncertainty by learning more about what you're doing. Do not mistake your uncertainty, which is a lack of knowledge, for a problem with the choice of pursuit of business. Your business will succeed. Remember that you are learning and experiencing something new. Get excited about it, and you will have absolute success. Remain in the energy, the genesis of the excitement which you felt when you first began this venture. Remain in the excitement and do not fear learning something new, because there will be many new things that your body will have to learn to do, many new things that your mind will have to learn to think, and trust in your ability to teach your mind and body how to learn these things. And you will find a very successful and happy, adventurous creation in your business. Remember, emotion organizes your experiences. They tell me that all the time. Emotion organizes your experiences. Well, hello from Greece. May I have a message if you feel connected? Thank you so much. Hi there. I don't know why. It will be very beneficial for you today if you are not far from the ocean. They're telling me go to the ocean, sit or stand in the water's edge. Feel the gift of the earth to renew certain elements within your body's health through the electrical transmission from the salt water into your body. That's what they're telling me to tell you. Some form of health correction that will happen for you by doing that. Sitting or standing in the salt water. Hi. Hello, Wendy. Wendy's asking, why did the crystal I found in Mount Shasta physically send almost electric vibrations into my palms, the strongest connection and vibration I've felt outside of my own internal high vibes? Crystals carry memory, the memory of Gaia. Gaia, we store memory in the brain cells in our brain. We store memory in the brain cells of our brain. Our bodies are somewhat crystalline in structure. If you ever take a drop of blood and you let it dry out, you'll see that if you reflect it in light, it takes on like a crystalline structure. And Gaia was giving you a very powerful memory from her experience. She says that it would loan itself to you being of greater service to Gaia. That's what that was. It was a transfer of information from that crystal to you. Go back to the crystal, put it in your hands again, and ask to be shown as a symbol, a word, or a well-defined image what the information represents. Right? Do that, Wendy. The other thing you can do is you can book a reading with me. That'll help you out a lot too. What can I do? What can I do so that I can be calibrated back to my own thinking and not theirs? You need to learn to teach your mind to be still. You have become so dependent on the external world because of this stimulation that's been put towards you. But this does not take away your divine authority. This does not take away your power and ability to train your mind to be still and quiet and peaceful. Everyone always has that authority. If they choose to assert it, you can say to the mind, be still, be still, be still. And then you'll begin to experience who you are again. When your mind is still, you can begin to experience the energy of who you are. rather than the energy of who you've been made to believe you're supposed to be. And so many of you have that happen to you. You've been trained to think and believe you are who you've been taught to be. But you always have the divine authority to say to the mind, to say to the body, be still, to lose the self, to find the self. And this can be done in but a few simple breaths, if you understand. Our Masterclass 101 will give you very in-depth experience with this, and you'll learn and know yourself as you truly, truly are. You're not who you think you are, and you're not who other people have taught you to think you are. You're a spiritual entity. Someone says, I believe emotions will damage your body. Emotions, if they're negative, can cause damage to the body. Like people who are sad, they'll take body. People are sad or feeling insecure. They're carrying a lot of fear in their body. Fear will orchestrate changes in the body. So in that sense, yeah, certain emotions can damage the body, but there are emotions that will elevate the body. Emotions like joy and playfulness, quiet and calm, peace. So yes, emotions can, in and of themselves, are neither good nor evil. They're just energy. And you as a divine authority can select and choose what emotional quality I'm going to indulge in. You can choose that. But yeah, there are emotions like rage, anger, guilt, shame that are detrimental to your physical health. And most of those emotions aren't something you were born with. In fact, most of the thoughts and emotions you have right now, you weren't born with them. They were given to you by the environment, by radio, television, parents, teachers, education. You must learn, as I've said, you've got to lose yourself to find yourself. Get your mind, sign up for Masterclass 101 Awakening and learn to teach your mind to get out of your way so that you can open up to different realms of information that aren't based in this world. You've got guides, you've got angels, you've got ascended masters that will work with you if you're open and receptive to tuning into their frequency. Just like you can tune into a different TV station, or you can tune into a different radio station. You can tune your consciousness to the energy of Jesus. You can tune your energy to the energy of Buddha. You can tune your energy to the energy of Babaji. You can tune your energy to any ascended master. You can tune your energy to Archangel Michael. You can tune your energy to Archangel Gabriel. You can learn to do this. You did not come here to be alone. You got 5 billion, 9 billion other human beings here, but most of them are equally conditioned and programmed by the environment and those in positions of power and authority that have taken advantage of your innocence. But you can learn very quickly to awaken yourself and connect to those that would be more than grateful to assist you in your awakening and then restoring yourself to your purpose. Because you did come here for a purpose. You all know this. You all know this. Yeah, remember to like, subscribe, share. Subscribing was the only way that I could send you anything at the moment. Well, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Anything you can do to help the channel is beneficial for the channel and the information. Thank you so much. Hi, welcome. Do you have a message from my spirit guides that can help me? Yeah, it was you just heard it. You just heard it just a moment ago. The message was for all of us. Yes. But it's not just about when you go to the ocean. Yes, I will. They just want me to make certain that you understand that when you put your feet in the ocean or you sit in the ocean, that you become aware of the transmission and receiving of the electrical energy that you require for the function of healing that you've requested this for, the emotional and mental balance that can come with the electrical rebalancing of your system. That's pretty cool. Someone's saying here, if you want your life to change in so many amazing ways, book a reading with William. Yeah, do that because it will. I cannot tell you the guides and the angels, the beings that want to talk to you, that will offer you information that you will not find anywhere else. Do you have any message from my angels? They're saying the word love to me right now. Love. Assert your love. Assert the energy of your love in your mind and in your day-to-day life. Like, assert the energy of love. A lot of people are disconnected from that. Most people are caught in the energy of fear. So get into the vibration of love. When you say the word, anybody, say the word, say or think the word love, and think about the vibration that you feel as you think or speak that word, love. Feel what happens in your body just from the word, not from what you remember about love, but from the word itself, the word love. Feel the vibration that occurs inside you with the word love. And then stay in the energy of that vibration. You can even say the word love again and amplify the vibration a little bit more and stay connected to it. The cultivation of energy is fairly easy when you understand that as a sentient being, you are capable of selecting and choosing which thoughts you will allow to occupy space in your mind. You have that choice. You have that choice. Thank you for saying that, Amanda. Really appreciate it. Michael, what can I expect in my marriage reconciliation? We would say to you quite simply and honestly to expect wonderful new changes. Expect that. Feel that. Let your words and your gestures embody wondrous change. A wondrous change. And see that for your partner as well. See them filled with joy and happiness at this reconciliation that is a new relationship, a renewal of love and grace in your lives. Consider this as a renewal, not a reconciliation. It's a renewal of your love and your grace in your marriage for you and for them. Be of this understanding and make certain to share this information with them. This is for the renewal of our love and our grace. It's not a reconciliation, it's a renewal of love and grace for you and for them. Wow, that's really cool. Thank you so much. Regarding prosperity, to believe the bank has more authority and power over than me is what stops. Yes, absolutely. You have to realize that you can generate the emotion, the feeling of wealth and prosperity. And if you can stay in that energy, it will start to reshape your life. Every emotion organizes human experiences. Whatever emotion you indulge in, if you're indulging in anger, if you're indulging in happiness, if you're indulging in sadness, if you're indulging in ecstasy, it doesn't matter. Whatever emotion you choose to align yourself to, it begins to organize your experiences. Think about it. When you get excited about something, your body gets all excited, right? You get sad, your body gets sad. Matter is organized by emotion. Remember that. Matter is organized by emotion. And if you're predominantly attached to sadness or you're predominantly attached to joy, it is organizing your experience. You could say that your life right now is the sum total manifestation of all of your emotions, over which you can use your free will to change at any time you so would choose to do. All right. Thank you. Thank you for joining my club. I appreciate it. I didn't even know I had a club. Thank you. What does the spirit suggest for me to help my niece in her marriage? You need to teach your niece to formulate an idea of the marriage that would strengthen it. The dominant thoughts and beliefs she had about the marriage, coupled with the dominant thoughts and beliefs that her loved one has about the marriage, the two of them must come to an understanding that they are entering and choosing to be in a divine union. That's primary function is love and grace. words of love, acts of grace. What if a man and a woman in love were to consider that as the foundation, that I've entered into a union where I can demonstrate love and grace? Is that not beautiful? Is that not what a good thing about marriage? That you are entering into a union to demonstrate and experience love and grace. And the two must agree to this. You must agree. She must be totally in the vibration. I have chosen this for the experience of love and grace. Tell her these words. I've chosen this marriage to experience love and grace. And have her share that with her beloved. Have her share that this is why I've chosen to be in marriage with you, to experience love and grace. Living love and grace. Wow. Thank you. Oh, you're very welcome, Wendy. Thank you so much. Somebody's saying I healed myself with love after I met William 5 or 6 years ago. Yes, Drusilla, you were one of the very first people that came after my awakening. So grateful and so wonderful that you're still in our lives. Thank you. I appreciate all that you offer for guidance. I just need to follow through daily. That's okay. Be kind, be gentle, because remember, you've been taught, your brain and body have been taught by the environment to be the way the environment wants you to be. Banks, educational systems, all the systems of the world have conditioned everybody to think, feel, and believe a certain way. So be patient, be kind with yourself, because it's going to take you a bit of time to remind your mind. It doesn't have to think that anymore. You're not going to think about that. You're going to think about this. You have to teach your mind. You literally have to become the environment for your own mind and body, rather than depending upon the environment out there to be your mind and body, which is what most people are doing. Most people are waiting for something out there to end my suffering, money, relationship. Something out there is going to make me feel better about my life. That has to happen within you first. When it happens within you, it happens around you. And if you've been raised in an environment that's abusive or destructive or harmful, which I've been through, then you're going to have a bit of work. But be patient, be kind, be gentle with yourself, because you're teaching your mind and body a new way of being. Again, the Ascended Masters, those that channel through me during the classes, will teach you all the simple steps that you can follow to restore yourself to peace in a ridiculously short period of time. You know, some of you might have spent years or decades in suffering that can be ameliorated literally in a couple of days, a couple of weeks, if you understand the mechanics of how you can use your mind and body differently than the way you've been taught to. I invite you all, don't waste any time. Oh, wonderful. Someone's saying, take one of the courses, doing the 103 now, and it's saving my life. I'm so grateful to hear that, Fee. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to hear that. It's not the fee that I think it is, a different fee. Yeah. Is there anything in my weaker gut I am not aware of, considering repeated gut infections? Thank you. Again, Iris, you're carrying a lot of, I don't want to get into too much detail about it. You need to release and heal with love and grace the energy that's trapped in your solar plexus chakra, in your stomach. There's energies, old emotions from this lifetime and from another lifetime that are trapped in your solar plexus. You need to release them, because the things in the world aren't going to correct what you're holding internally. Doesn't matter if you change your diet. If you do not change your emotional energy, then you can do all kinds of things diet-wise. You need to shift this emotion that's trapped in your solar plexus chakra, or what you call your stomach area. You need to shift that energy. You need to release that old. I know it's very painful. I'm sending you much love. Archangel Raphael is transmitting love directly to you right now. Love to your stomach. He wants you to feel the sensation of love in your stomach. He's transmitting that energy to you right now. Okay? And you know how to reach me if you need to. You can just go to my website and book a reading right there. Thank you so much. I live in DC. I leave in DC. I leave to DC in the morning. Will it be a good trip? Decide now, Debbie. Decide. I'm going on a wondrous adventure. Get into the energy of it, because emotion organizes matter. My guardian angel John said that to me, 6 years ago, 5, 6 years ago. Emotion is the fifth state of energy, and it coordinates and organizes all functions of matter, from the subatomic level to the gross level of planets and solar systems. Emotion organizes matter. So Debbie, go right into that energy of, this is a wonderful and exciting trip I'm embarking on. Feel the energy of it and stay with that energy and watch what happens along the way. Because when you stay in an energy, you generate experiences. When you let that energy go, that generation stops. So stay connected to that. Hi. William's meditations are really powerful. I sleep all night afterwards. Haven't done that all year. I have to say, I'm the vehicle for the meditations. The ascended masters and the other guides and angels that come through me are the ones that actually do the meditation. They provide the energy that goes through me and goes through to all of us during the classes, right? So I can't take full credit for that. I am the instrument that I'm willingly open and receptive to allowing love's grace to work through me, right? You have to be open and receptive to it. Great to see you too, Tally. Thank you so much. Oh, you're very welcome, Iris. You're a beautiful soul. You just have to really deal with that emotional energy. There's nothing wrong with you. Well, I think we're complete today, everybody. I'm truly grateful. So thank you again to my patrons, to my YouTube and Facebook followers and subscribers, to my TikTok followers, subscribers. Thank you so much. I love your support. I'm really grateful that more and more of you are starting to come out to this. Remember to share this information with other people. Like, subscribe, follow. If you're on TikTok and you want to see the full version of this, you can go and see it on my YouTube channel under the lives section. And the quality is a little different there than it is on TikTok, but we'll get that fixed in due time. But it's not so much about what you see, it's about what you feel and what you learn. Remember that. So you can sign up and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. Have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day. I'm going to wish you all much, much love. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys on the Friday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. Take good care, everybody. Bye for now.